Hey everybody, this is Don from Wizard Tower Games. I'm doing a video that I really don't want to do, but I'm going to do it because, you know, my dad used to have a saying that was called "discretion's better part of valor." Sometimes when naughty things are being said about you online, it's just better to ignore it. And that was kind of what I was going to do with this at the very beginning. But I did involve my attorney in this, and a letter is going out to some people in question regarding what I'm getting ready to talk to you about. But I wanted to do a video because this is getting traction behind the scenes, is how it goes on social media. People send messages behind people's backs. But like my friend Eric Tenkar says, if you're going to make a video and you're going to say something, then bring the receipts. That's what I'm bringing. Page, Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, Ron Meschke, Wesley Allen from DM Tales. How's it all entail with me? Well, evidently, and I'm going to make this relatively as brief as possible, okay, because it's a nauseating situation, but I have to address this. And I'm going to address it publicly because I'm not having this said behind my back. Back a couple of years ago, I was a special guest for the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. And what happened was while I was a guest pending and the expo was coming up, DM Bloodworth, who is an online vlogger and a friend of mine, went ahead and posted a post regarding the diamond distribution fiasco. And this was the post. Pause to read it. I'm not going to stay a long time on this stuff. But my response was simple. Excellent response and spot on, Edward James Bloodworth. Okay? Simple, easy peasy, nice and easy. No big deal. So I got called into a three-way chat with Ron, two of the other fellow Page Expo people, within a few days of me posting that. And they said that 3 people had reported that post to them and that I had broken some rule for special guests. Now, I already downloaded that conversation, so Ron, you can go ahead and delete it now if you want. But I've already downloaded it via image and recording, and if I have to show it, I will. But my question to Ron and his 2 friends were, what rule did I break? And they wouldn't tell me. I said, can you show me the rule? They wouldn't tell me. So I basically told them, I said, what does this have to do with Paige? I'm not mentioning Paige in this. I was kind of puzzled. I was actually out for dinner with my wife when I got the message from Ron and his buddies. And basically I got called to task because I was making Paige look bad. I'm not sure I'm making Paige look bad, but it is what it is. And the end of that conversation, I was summarily uninvited and then banned from Page. Fine, their convention. I've even made a few smart aleck comments about it in a vlog of many things, and I stand by my comments. Now, fast forward to about a week and a half ago, a friend of mine who's going to remain nameless went ahead and sent me a message. Said, "Hey Don, watch this link starting in about 23 minutes." It was an online vlogger named Wes Allen from something called DM Tales. I've never heard of the guy before, honestly. And in that, starting at the 23-minute mark, Ron Meschke was asked to comment about something about conventions. And Ron was mentioning a few conventions. Then he mentioned my convention, WizardCon. And he made a couple of smart aleck comments about my convention, so on and so forth. And I made a comment on the DM Tales website calling it out as unprofessional. And then I shared it on my personal page, and a few other people came there and said, hey, that's not cool for you to do that, which is not cool for a big convention like Ron's to call out a small convention the way he did. And then I emailed Wes, and I said, this Wes Allen guy owns DM Tales. And I said, hey, I'd like to come on your show and maybe kind of talk about WizardCon and discuss this comment that Ron made because I don't think it's fair. Wes's response was brief and to the point, said, no, thanks. Wes is allowed to say no. I tell people no all the time who want to come on the vlog of many things or on here, no big deal. If, as a matter of fact, to defend Wes, he looked kind of uncomfortable when Ron was saying that stuff about my convention even. So fast forward to this, I think it was Tuesday. I've been sick all week, so my apologies. I'm off a little bit. So Tuesday morning, I wake up to a flurry of personal messages from people going, do I want to comment on Ron's messages? And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And basically what they were messages from Ron telling people that I'm the one who sent this email to Pauli Kidd. And I'm like, what email? Well, evidently A few days ago, Pauli Kid got this highly anti-gay, anti-transphobic. It was an email that was some of the most disgusting, vile stuff I've ever seen, sent to her from the DM Tales email. You can see it in there. And Ron was blaming me for it. And I got really confused and such. And I actually went on a telephone call, which I did record, with one of the people who were asking me about it because they want to talk to me on the phone. And they showed me the email, and I was confused because how is it from me when it says it's from this Wes Allen guy from DM Tales? And I was really perplexed. And basically, Ron was saying that this email was faked by me, which confused me. And then I asked Pauli Kid about it because Pauli had messaged me, but Pauli had sent me a picture of the email, but then asked me some other miscellaneous minor stuff, had nothing to do with it down below, and I didn't look at the picture. I should have. So with Pauli's permission, I want to show you, as Eric Tenkar calls it, the receipts. Now, I am showing this message from Ron Meschke to Pauli Kid with Pauli's express permission. This is the message. Ron says, "Hi, Pauli. I'm sorry you're getting dragged into something that has nothing to do with you. Wes Allen is devastated someone spoofed his email." And by the way, that is true. Wes Allen did not send this email, we found out, because I did digging with a friend of mine. He says, "You appear to be caught up in a smear campaign purported by Don Samora, a small convention runner from Michigan who canceled his convention 3 weeks ago on less than a 3 weeks notice without providing explanation. I made a sidelong comment about it, and we've been getting besieged with stuff like this since by him." And he links the video in question. Now, a couple things. Besieged. I never messaged Ron about that one bit. What I did is I made a couple of comments on the video saying, "Not cool, unprofessional." I shared it on my personal page, which caused a couple people going in that video comments and going, "Not cool, unprofessional," which it was uncool and not professional. But Ron doesn't take responsibility for anything that he does into the negative. But also, these are some of the other messages Ron is sending people, like this one. It's completely Don. I'd literally bet my life. I'd be like my life, equally bet my life it's not Wes. It is not Wes, by the way, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. And then he handily shows where the email came from. Really odd that happened so fast. And then this is the other part of the message where he says, "It's Andy, that's fake. It's likely Don Samora and Bloodworth." Again, the vlogger that I agreed with. And then he basically said he was on he made a sidelong comment about WizardCon, which was canceled and blah, blah, on 4 days notice. Don Samora runs WizardCon, and he's on a smear campaign since. Okay. Smear campaign. I went on Wes's video and made 2 posts. They're still up there. You can look at them. I said nothing negative except the fact I showed it on my page, and I said that I think Ron is being really unprofessional. Comments are still up there on my personal page. I stand by my comments. Ron, you're unprofessional for making those comments. So I don't know what the smear campaign with Ron is. So what I did was I asked Pauli for the headers of the email because I know an individual who is an IT security specialist. He deals deeply in IT security, server security. And I said, "Hey, can you dig into this for me?" And he took the headers, which here you can see I sent him the headers. And I'm blocking him out because his identity is going to stay private because I don't want him. He can get in trouble through his company, I think. And this is basically what he came up with. And again, you can pause this. Again, it goes back to this EMKEICZ.cz. It is a Czech Republic email or website from someone called user 33. Now, I did give Ron a message via Facebook, and I asked Ron to redact his comments to these people, and Ron said, "Litigate them." That was Ron's response, his cocky response, "Litigate me." So things are going to be happening now. I'm not going to get into detail of them, but people, be careful what you ask for. You will get it. Ron is wrong for what he's doing. Now, interesting enough, Ron has said nothing publicly. What is he doing? He's going behind the scenes like this. He's going to people and he's smearing me behind my back, thinking that I won't know, because this is what slime balls like Ron do. They go and they do this because they're cowards. And they're cowards because they won't confront a person publicly. They just do it behind the scenes because they're just trying to get discord happening. And this is why I'm in this video right now. And this is a very important thing. And I was talking to Pauli Kid about this, and Pauli Kid made a really good point. What's happening here is this: is whoever sent this horrible email to Pauli is definitely anti-gay, anti-trans. And they have attempted to sow discord among vloggers, among gamers, among game conventions. And Ron is feeding into this. And Ron is feeding into this fast. I mean, Ron went right to me and DM Bloodworth. I mean, immediately, right to us. Why? He's just perpetuating what this person wants. This person wants discord and conventions against conventions and gamers against gamers and websites against websites, because that's how they can further their anti-gay, anti-trans agenda. Now, for those of you who think that I'm anti-gay or anti-trans, you obviously are not on my personal Facebook page, and you obviously have not looked at the videos that I've posted. In fact, I'm only one of the only game companies who have made a specific video stating my stance on supporting the gay and trans community. And you can go dig through the videos down below and you'll see that I specifically go through into that. The email that Pauli got was a horrible, horrible, horrible email, and they have victimized Pauli. What they've attempted to do is they attempted to use Pauli's platform, because they knew Pauli would most likely publicly out this, because that's what Pauli does. And they attempted to do that to do what? To ruin a small creator like Wes Allen, who did what? Did nothing. But they used his name, his email. And that cites into the danger, the bigger danger here, is these websites like this email faking website out of the Czech Republic. These websites need to be shut down. Their ISPs need to be contacted and complaints made against them. The ability for a person to be able to go online and fake an email is a dangerous thing. And people like Ron Meshke from the Philadelphia Area Game Expo, who is so willing to so quickly point the finger to people like me and DM Bloodworth, is absolutely disgusting. And not only that, but in the other messages, there's another online creator who has a major online vlog who was called a white supremacist, and that type of stuff was said about him. I'm not going to mention that creator's name here, but I'm going to share that info with that creator after this video. So what we need to do in this community is we need to stop this so quick to pull the trigger. You know, Pauli Kid is the ultimate victim here. Pauli was victimized, was absolutely victimized with this message. And Wes Allen is also a victim here, because Wes Allen was also absolutely victimized because it was sent in his name. And this could have really went south on Wes Allen. This really could have. And for the individual who sent that email using Wes Allen's information, if you're watching this video, you know, be very careful, because sooner or later you're going to make an email to somebody who has the resources to subpoena or to do things to find out who your user ID is on that website. And when that information comes out, I think you'll loathe your activities. So this is Don with Wizard Tower Games signing off. Again, I have to do this video because I'm going to defend myself, because people are coming to me even as of today, Thursday, going, this is what Ron is saying about you. And Ron, you're wrong for doing this. You got a problem with me, Ron. Have a problem with me. You don't like WizardCon, don't like my convention, but you have no reason to smear me behind my back. You know, shame on you. You know, you have a convention that you claim is inclusive and for everybody, but you attack another convention behind my back. You attack me behind my back. You accuse me behind my back with absolutely no proof. Well, sometimes people can do that, but eventually they'll have the chance to prove that in different venues. And that's what's coming up. So this is Don with Wizard Tower Games. Hope signing off. Hope everybody has good. Pauli, wish you luck. Wes, I apologize that you have been through this. But I don't think this is over. This person, whoever they are, and this is going to be the ultimate thing I'm going to end with. What we as a community have to do is when we get an email and it's full of vitriol and it's from somebody, message that person. Say, did you send this email to me? And then work with that person to call that email out for what it was. Because there's a person out there lurking around who has the ability to fake other people's emails. And that's not only a dangerous thing, that's scary as hell. So hope everybody has a good weekend. This is Don from Wizard Tower Games signing off. I'll talk to you later.